Hi, I'm George Ellison with Acme Guitar Works, and I'm here to show you another guitar that we've done. This is a guitar that we actually built as a spec guitar. We start with Fender's Mexican guitars. We stock their Mexican standard guitars and some of the classic series guitars. Mainly we stock Strats, Teles, and Esquires. That's kind of where we live. We do have some P basses and jazz basses, but and we also now have got the classic vibe Squire guitars. And we'll be doing some videos on those as well. Those are great guitars for the money. Pretty hard to fault them at whatever they are, $379 or $349 or something. I'm not sure exactly yet of the prices. But this guitar is a Mexican standard Telecaster. We built it as a spec guitar just because I thought it's a cool looking. I love this white on white look, and we've done more Strats than we have Tele, so what I think we're going to start doing is sort of building spec guitars so we can show different, option combinations on these guitars, and then we'll sell those spec guitars as completed guitars. First off, we're an authorized Fender dealer, and a lot of the parts that we use are Fender parts. We also have some parts from some other companies. And so we do a lot of hot rodding. We sell hot rod parts, we sell guitars, and we'll hot rod guitars. This guitar has got a couple $100 worth of options. I know we didn't really go over the top with this one. This guitar out of the box has a 9.5-inch fretboard radius. Again, this is the standard Telecaster. It's available in 6 different colors, at least right now, 2010. It has a fairly tall fret wire. It's not this sort of the small vintage wire, and it feels pretty good out of the box. What we did on it is we did a fret level in crown and polish, because often these guitars don't play as well out of the box as they're capable of playing. They just need to be set up, and they need, in many cases, almost all cases I would say, they'll benefit from a fret level. The fret level, it's just that sort of fine-tuning that at this price point it seems guitar manufacturers are unable to really nail down, and we found that to be true not just with the Fender guitars, but with Epiphone guitars, with the with a lot of the imported guitars that are being made, sort of the price point guitars that are made to sell at the the more entry price points. I mean, the manufacturers try to engineer out the labor, I think, to the largest extent possible in order to get the cost down. I mean, labor is really where, that's their number one overhead expense for just about any manufacturer. So, this guitar, we did the fret level, but we left everything else stock. We did replace the pickups, and these are Fender's no-caster, custom shop no-caster pickups. They've got vintage construction. They've got sort of a vintage output, which I like. I tend to like weaker output pickups rather than stronger output pickups. I like those kind of twangy, bright, chimey Fender tones. We also put a 4-position switch in this one instead of the stock 3-position switch, so that we can combine these two pickups in parallel, as is the norm. But we can also combine them in series, so you get a little bit fuller, warmer and I'll sort of demonstrate that. When you combine coils together, if one of the pickups is reverse wound in reverse polarity relative to the other, then in the combination positions you will get hum canceling, and that's true regardless of whether you combine the two in parallel or in series. So on this guitar, 2 of the 4 positions are hum canceling. Finally, we wanted, this guitar comes with a different looking bridge with 6 saddles. And I just love this conventional look. And so we put this sort of the bridge that would come on a 52 reissue Telecaster, but with Callahan's compensated saddles. So they're the brass 3-piece saddles, but they're compensated so the guitar intonates properly. And but it retains sort of the look and the tone, of the vintage style bridge with the brass saddles, as opposed to having this, the 6 individual saddles. The bridge footprint on the stock bridge comes out to about here. It's about a ½ an inch longer, and so we had some concern that replacing it with this bridge would mean, would leave an area of the finish that was imprinted from the earlier bridge. But that's not the case on this guitar. I don't know if we're going to find consistently that that's the case or not. But in this guitar, there's no indication at all that this was not the stock bridge from Fender. So it worked out well.